That won't come out. These are Phillips. This sucks. Alright, so I'm going to show you something, but you gotta promise not to laugh at me. I went online and I found two generic condenser coils. These ones happen to be off of a fryer. The thing that's really cool about condenser coils is they act like radiators, so heat exchangers if you will. All this plastic tubing here is how we plumb water. So you see we got one T right there and another T over here. This pipes water, cold water, which you'll see how we source that in just a minute. Cold water comes from this cooler where I've drilled two holes, a feed and return. That is driven by this massive pump. So the idea of it is we put cold water in here with tons of ice. If we need an isolator to keep it from blocking up the pump, you got one right here, drill some holes in it, ice goes through, or ice water goes through, pumps through there, comes out of this hose, through the thing, into this, through these coils, fan on, cold air go through. I do have enough material to make a shroud, however we're not doing that right now because we got other pressing matters. And the only thing I gotta do right now is I gotta extend this hose, or replace this hose, because it's not long enough to reach the cooler while sitting up here, which is kind of a thing I want to do. Before we get started on what we're supposed to be doing today, which is fixing the radiator fan and one extra goodie while we're there, we have to fix this thing because it's 97 degrees in here. I'm not doing this without any kind of cool draft or something. I also have a block of ice upstairs in the fridge, or the freezer for that matter. A solid block of ice, that not like that 10-pound stuff you get at the gas station that's kind of like hodgepodge cubes that are sort of kind of like, you know, solid frozen chunk of ice that's upstairs. It's been freezing for like a week, so that sucker's solid. We're gonna pop that in here with a couple gallons of water and start the recirc process, get that going, and we'll come back down and we'll get that going. So let's see if maybe we cool it down a couple degrees. I'm gonna tell you right now, even if it doesn't cool down the garage itself, it definitely makes an impact on the air coming out. So it may not be the best solution, but I'm gonna promise you right now, it's a better year-round solution than that little guy down there. It doesn't do crap half the year. So we're gonna clip these ties, and yeah, let's just get to work. Enough talk. I get a little on the messy side. That's gonna be running in the background. Sorry about the noise in advance. And this is also blowing dry, cool air, as opposed to an evap, which uses moist, cool air, which only works till about June, which it's June now. So, also, before we get started, if you're new here, hit subscribe. It helps. We got a problem with the car. Car's not staying cool anymore, and we gotta fix that. So what I did today is I went and saw my buddy Caesar. Hi Caesar, I know you're watching. I know you watch. Went and saw him, as I do with most RSX stuff. And he gave me a couple of these. The culprit, the offender, is right here. It's back behind the actual core support. Looking at our fans here, you can see we got two bolts at the top, and then these sit down into like a little spot, and there's something up on this top side. So if you look, I think that top side piece is the tab for this guy right here. I think, no, maybe not, I don't know. But either way, we're gonna take this air box out because, well, it's broken and it's in the way. So we're gonna go ahead and remove it.
where we sit. We had to pull the battery tray out, and we unbolted the fan. This one up here was a little bit of a pain. I started to remove this. Turns out I really didn't need to, so I'll put the bolts back in that here in a minute. I guess the trick is once you get this bolt out, which I did with this guy, this little tiny 1/4 inch deal. Once you get that free, you have to push the fan all the way forward, all the way sideways, push it out, kink it past this. I'm not sure what AC part that is because I'm not an AC expert. Clear the harness, get it to slide out this way. Rotate it. You have to move the hose a little bit to get that corner past. Once you get past the corner, then it all should slide out and come right out. I'll show you on the install. But yeah, it's a little bit. It's just a smidge of a pain. Air conditioning update. It worked really good. And it dropped it about 3 degrees in here. I looked over at one point and said 94. I don't have proof, so call me a liar, but it worked. It is feeling better just with the wind. But that ice block was gone in about 2 minutes flat. We're gonna keep experimenting with it. The way I see it is a block of ice and a bag of ice are about $2.50. So $5 to run this thing. It's cheap insurance, I guess. I don't know. But it's a cheap operation. I really don't know what else, but it's 89 outside, so I opened the garage door. Hopefully, get some air flowing. So save me about 6 degrees. But back to work. So we got the fans out, and that one is the one that pulled out of the car, and this one is the one I got from Caesar. The motor on this one is good. The blade, I believe, is whack, and we're gonna test it real quick just to make sure I'm not crazy. But I'm pretty sure this one was good because he said the housing on it was busted, and he nicked the blade right there. So I'm pretty sure this is a good motor. We're gonna try it. You'll notice it's identical because this is an OEM part. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take the motor and swap it over here. So yeah, cool, huh? All right. Let's see what we have to do that. So let's try it real quick. All right. So that won't come out. These are Phillips. This sucks. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna throw the fan blade on and send it. Because yeah. Something like this, but you gotta try and not bind on any wiring like I am right now. There we go. Once you get low enough, that get it under the radiator hose. Get all the wiring out of your way. And carefully slide it all against the radiator and over. Do it right. Do something like that. And just get it seated in the radiator. With the mounts down there. There it is. Alright, so now that all this is back together in terms of the cooling fan and everything like that, battery's back in. We do got one more little thing, and I don't know if I put it in the title or not, but this is a come up. This is a little bit of a come up for me because, as you know, with this motor, we're going turbo, but as you already seen, based on the condition of that boot, it's no bueno. And it's a good thing I planned for that because if you don't know what this is an engine short ram intake. Normally like $200, but I got it for $40. Then I had to buy a reducer coupler because it doesn't fit the intake that one. So $10 later, so $50 for this whole thing. This thing is a far ton better than that box of crap behind the camera. Less restrictive. Let's put it in. Alright, so this is about as far as I got. We got the alright. that's about as far as we got. We got the got the intake mounted, but you'll notice we're missing this Bluetooth here, Bluetooth thing going on here. This is what we call the Bluetooth intake. We're missing the pre-molded thing. I honestly thought this is what was needed. The downside to this, obviously, is that I need that coupler in order to make this intake work. Problem is that coupler is a very specific 2.78 to 3 inch 60-degree elbow, pre-molded by InGen themselves, which means if I want a new one, that's $76. I messaged the guy hoping maybe he might have it still and it's just laying around and you just forgot it kind of thing. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It is currently like 1 a.m. or something, and I gotta dump all the water from that, turn all that off, and yeah. So we'll pack it up for now, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, so $95 and. Several days later, we finally get the part. InGen. This is the correct coupler, I think. I really hope so, because that's what their instruction sheet said, and that's what I ordered. Okay, so now all we gotta do is undo everything I did, like the screws and stuff in the front core support, and put this bad boy in. And I think we're ready to start juicing down the street. So, let's get back to work. Alright, so she's now all back together, and I just gotta go grab keys, and we can go take her for a rip and see if it throws any codes and stuff. It shouldn't, because it's still got the map sensor, air intake, temp sensor, and you know, all that. Map sensor's in the throttle body anyway, so let's plug her in and see what we can do. So it's been a few days since the last clips, I guess, when we were in the garage. But the car rips. It sounds great. Really wish I could do more. So, you know, go full choo-choo back there with the turbo manifold and this thing, which we gotta get back to work on. So, stay tuned for that. Now I gotta clean up this mess. Not feeling it. It's 98 in here. 98. Till next time, take it easy. We'll catch you in the next one. See ya.